watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
We begin this hour with breaking news. San Diego police investigating what they're calling a suspicious death in Rolando. It's 6 a.m. on this Wednesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. This happened just before 2 this morning in the 4300 block of College Avenue. And that's where CBS 8's Regina Yorita is live at the scene gathering information. Regina, what's the latest there?
Hey guys, good morning. Well, it's still an active scene here on the 4300 block of College Avenue. So the College Avenue, the street here is open. You're seeing cars drive by, but there are 4 multiple police cruisers as well as investigators. The homicide unit still on scene trying to gather statements and evidence. They've been coming in and out of that apartment complex. That's basically what's blocked off. Now, at this point in the investigation, they are calling this a suspicious death. Lieutenant Arturo Swadner with the San Diego homicide team says a 911 call from a man came in just before 2 this morning. He reported that his wife had fallen inside their apartment and was unresponsive. The man's statement to police officers says he found his wife on the floor after falling. But when officers arrived on scene, they found the man performing CPR. They continued to help. Unfortunately, the woman died. According to Lieutenant Swadner, out of an abundance of caution, based on the injuries that were on her body, the homicide unit was called in. Police did not specify what type of injuries other than minor trauma on the body. That is what they're still investigating at this time. So take a listen to what the lieutenant told us earlier this morning.
Early in the investigation, we're not sure the circumstances that led to her losing consciousness. That's part of the reason why we're here, is to investigate and make sure we figure that out.
And so last we heard, the man who called 911 was still on scene with detectives. We also noticed the homicide unit still here, as well as Mid-City Patrol officers. But again, this is still in the initial stages. They did tell us there is no threat to the public. However, they are going to continue here for the next couple of hours, probably through the noon or through middays, to really get more information on what might have happened. We'll keep you guys updated if we learn more on this case. But for now, I'll send it back to you.
Following more breaking news right now, a SIG alert in effect on a busy Vista roadway after a driver crashed into multiple power lines.
Yeah, this might affect your commute this morning. It happened just before 11 last night in the 2100 block of East Vista Way. And that's where CBS 8's Chris Groh is joining us live from the scene to tell us how this will impact the morning commute. Chris, a lot of damage to those power lines.
A lot of damage, and what we're seeing is that folks are coming here on East Vista Way, and then they're running into this road closure and the scene that's in front of them, and they're having to turn around because either they haven't checked their GPS or it's just not updating at this time. We'll have more on those traffic impacts in just a little bit, but this is also having an impact now on power to some folks that are just waking up at this hour. At last half hour, we told you that SDG&E said that power would not be out, but they just put out an alert that says that there are 46 customers here in this area that have lost power because of this power pole being hit here by the suspected drunk driver. And so there are 46 customers here in this area. They expect that they'll have power back up and running for them at about 7:30. So that's something that we'll keep an eye out for here as we move forward into the day. Now, as far as details surrounding this crash, what we are told is that this happened late last night, around 10:40. That this was on Vista Way. This person was driving potentially erratically, slammed into this pole. They did a sobriety test in the video that we have seen here, and then that person was later arrested on suspicion of DUI. We were told by the fire department that someone was transported, though their circumstances in relation to kind of the area of the crash is still uncertain at this time. We're still waiting to get a possible update from them on how it is that their condition is, or again, their relation to all of this. But again, that person was taken into custody. We're right here on Vista Way and Sarah Drive. We're told that this is extending all the way to Warmlands, which is just a little bit beyond where that power pole is here in our live picture. But we'll stay here on this live picture, and we'll actually throw things now to Vanessa, who's there in studio with a little bit more on what we can expect with the impact to traffic. Vanessa?
Thanks, Chris. And we're actually told that where this occurred, it's a main artery of the Vista neighborhood. So if you're just waking up and you live in the Vista neighborhood, you may want to listen in. Again, this crash occurred on the surface streets right between the 76 and the 78. And a SIG alert has been issued. It will be impacting the neighborhood or that area for the next few hours. And this came in last night. So it's been quite an extensive investigation. That car reportedly crashed into the power pole. As of right now, I'm not sure if there are any outages, but we will continue to keep you updated through the morning. So Vista Way is going to remain closed between Sarah Drive and Wardlands for the next few hours. And in case you're wondering which area it's impacting, I circled it here for you. If you're familiar with the neighborhood, it's right between Osborne and Taylor Street, right at Vista Way, East Vista Way. All right, as we zoom on out, I'm tracking another crash, and this is in the South Bay, reportedly on the 125, right where it meets the 54 split. A car reportedly crashed into the center divide there, and you could actually see we're now seeing a little bit of slowing come out of the La Presa, Hamishaw Boulevard area right near the Bonita and Spring Valley neighborhoods. Travel times right now are still all in the green. Green always good. Fairly light to get you inbound from Encinitas as well as Escondido this morning, and traveling in near that Nordal exit down to the Oceanside area on the 78 West will take you about 15 minutes at last check. Travel times right now for all of those headed west this morning on either the 94, 8 and 52 are in really good shape, anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes. And traveling in from the South Bay headed northbound and from the San Isidro area to downtown or that 94 interchange will take you about 15 minutes, about 10 right now from the 54 to the 8, and Coronado Bridge full span will take about 3 minutes to get to that toll booth. All right, quick look at your border wait times. We're looking at about an hour and 15 minutes inbound from the San Isidro Port of Entry. If you're traveling in from the Otay Mesa Port of Entry, it'll take you just about 2 hours this Wednesday morning. Back to you guys.
¿Cómo te llamas? You guys, these are the ICE agents here.
This morning, ICE is confirming they detained 5 people during a joint operation with Homeland Security in Mission Bay. Agents were seen raiding RVs parked on East Mission Bay Drive yesterday. The agency claims one person was a member of, quote, transitional criminal organization and violently resisted apprehension. ICE says the person kicked an agent in the chest and bit another officer's forearm. They have presented charges for assault on federal law enforcement to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Legislation to crack down on people who purchase sex from minors is on its way to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk this morning. This comes after a lengthy battle at the state capitol.
It's an embarrassment that this isn't already the law. Right now, a grown man can walk away with an aggravated misdemeanor. That's not justice, and it sure as hell isn't enough.
Assembly Bill 379 will make it a felony, in most cases, to solicit sex from a 16 or 17-year-old. Currently, that is a misdemeanor. An adult who solicits sex from a minor who is more than 3 years younger than them will now face felony charges.
This morning, a massive data breach is affecting tens of thousands of Sharp healthcare patients here in San Diego. So you're going to want to know about this. Between January and February of this year, Episource, a subsidiary of United Health Group, says hackers obtained sensitive information, including medical records and social security numbers. Sharp is identifying the patients impacted. We did speak with a cybersecurity expert. He says the impacts of this breach might not be felt for months.
All of a sudden they might see a procedure that somebody supposedly was them doing it, when in fact it wasn't doing them. It was somebody else who used their medical information to get that procedure done, as an example. Now they're getting billed.
If you are part of the breach, you are urged to change your passwords immediately and be sure you're looking for the next several months for any suspicious emails or text messages. Monitor your financial accounts too for any unknown activity.
So far, it's been a very nice week weather-wise.
Yeah.
Your humidity going to pick up a notch?
Yeah, tomorrow and Friday are the days that we're watching out for in particular for not only an uptick in humidity, but also maybe a few showers out over our local mountains. We could use them, but we do hope they don't come along with dry lightning. That's going to be a top concern across the region as well. For today, though, we stay dry. Humidity, not much of a concern for this afternoon as that ridge of high pressure is the dominant weather feature for now. 72 out by the coast. That ridge is not not all that strong, I will say, because it's still keeping our temperatures in the slightly cooler than average range. But while we have some clouds in the morning, the afternoon sunshine should be readily available. Upper 70s across our inland valleys, low 80s out over the mountains, and 106 on average for our deserts this afternoon. What we're going to be seeing is that as that humidity starts to pick up, this marine layer may make a resurgence out along the coastline for tomorrow morning and Friday morning. However, this morning we actually already have a little bit of clearing in the Del Mar area, which has given us some gorgeous views outside. Take a look. This is what we see in La Jolla, for example, where not only can you make out the Pacific very nicely, but you also are starting to see some breaks in the clouds, giving us an opportunity for maybe some early morning sunshine. That sunrise was at 5:52, sunset at 7:57. If you're making weekend plans in Hillcrest, that chance for humidity starts to drop off. 10 a.m. will be at about 71 degrees. By the end of the Pride Parade, 74 degrees should be the temperature out there around 2 p.m. Warm and dry with plenty of sunshine and wind staying light out of the southwest under 10 miles per hour. Here's what it's like out the door right now. Widespread 60s, 66 in Oceanside, 64 in Encinitas, and 60 in La Mesa. Ramona, Julian, both in the upper 50s to kick off your Tuesday morning. Coming up, we'll talk about more as in what to expect over the course of the next couple days. Wednesday morning, I should say specifically. Coming up, we'll talk about that monsoonal moisture starting to kind of drift into the region and whether or not we have a great chance for those showers or thunderstorms to actually come to fruition.